Oh, that looks good. Welcome back to my project Pathfinder, in which I'm doing a part restoration on my 2001 Nissan Pathfinder. If you missed the latest video where I installed some new suspension components and did a lift kit and also some brake work, be sure to check that out in the link above here. And in this video, well, hopefully I can finish up this project because there is still a bit of a small list of things I need to do. And most importantly, I need to give this thing a bath. And that is because I need to do a cut and polish on the areas I painted a couple of videos ago. So I need to finish that now. But all this has to happen before winter sets in, which could be any day now. Alright, I sanded it down with 2000 grit sandpaper, just made a few passes doing a wet sand. And now I'm ready for polish. This is all polished now, including the rocker panel and the rear wheel arch. This is actually going to be good enough, at least for the next step of what I'm going to be doing, and that is actually putting back these fender flares back on, because I wanted to do this because I need to actually apply a little bit of that undercoat again right up to this here where these holes are, because I don't want the rust to come back right again. So I'm going to do that now. Some of you might think I'm crazy for doing this, but believe me, in my mind, it makes a lot of sense. You don't want this to rust again, so therefore, put some undercoating on it. That's what it's for. Ahead and order some new clips for a lot of these, because unfortunately when I did take off these fender flares, they did break some of these pieces, so I am going to just use some new ones here. Again, they are from Nissan, and no, they were not cheap, so I have to be very careful with these and make sure I don't break them. It's the following day, and fortunately I finished up with the assembly of the bumpers and fender flares, and I didn't want to film that because it was extremely boring, not only for me, but I figured it would be especially for you, the viewer, watching this, so decided to skip that step. But now we can get into the mods. One of the mods I'm doing to the Pathfinder, and it may seem absolutely crazy that I'm doing this, and that is changing out the side mirrors. Now, the ones that are on here currently are perfectly fine. They work, there's nothing wrong with them, but there was one thing I always wanted, and that was the side mirrors from the Infiniti QX4. Now, because those ones in particular have this blue glass, like here you can see, I was always jealous of the fact that, you know, they had that, and it's added that nice kind of feature when you're driving at night. You don't have to worry about glare coming and blinding you when you're driving. So I decided to get these. I got a set for about $30, and rather than just taking out the glass, 'cause I didn't want to break it, I'm just going to replace the whole assembly itself. Alright, I roll down the window to make this hopefully a little bit easier so that I can just grab it when I take off the side mirror. I've actually never taken off these door cards before, but I have taken these off and actually replaced it with this because I like the wood grain. It matches the rest of the vehicle and kind of gives it a bit more contrast. You probably can't see that on camera, but there is a bunch of dirt just inside here. That's just gross. I will be cleaning that out. I think that's all of them. Yeah, definitely some rust coming off of the side mirror here. This little part, that's part of the body. And then on this side, yeah, that's not good at all. With the new side mirrors installed on either side of the vehicle, it's time to move on to the next mod. Next mod I'm going to be doing is actually changing out the incandescent bulbs in the tail lights all to LEDs. Now currently, I actually am rocking an LED reverse light, but I'm actually going to be changing out the incandescent brake light and the turn signal. Hope these bolts won't break on me. You know, I did take this off once before, so it shouldn't be too bad. Here's a new LED brake light installed. Again, probably doesn't do it justice during the daytime, but I mean, I'm sure it will work pretty well. For the front turn signals, I'm actually going to do things a little bit differently. I've already gone ahead and removed the turn signal housing from the vehicle, and that's because I actually want to remove the amber reflector on the side. Now, I don't really care for these reflectors. I think they look kind of ugly. You know, I kind of like the European style look to, you know, a lot of these vehicles with just the clear ones. So basically, I'm going to bake it open and remove the amber reflector on the side and also the one attaching to the bulb. Hello and welcome to the following day. As you can see here, I have my nice clear turn signal housing, and it turned out pretty well, and it was very easy to do. And if you want to do something like this at home, you definitely could probably do it, but just check to make sure that you're not breaking any laws by doing it, because it may be illegal to remove those amber reflectors. So now that that's done, I'm going to just install it here, but you may be wondering about the turn signal bulbs themselves and if they have built-in resistors. And yes, the ones in the front do. The ones in the rear don't, so I'm actually going to use a relay and replace the one that's already in the vehicle with an LED flasher relay, so that way I won't get hyper flashing. A little something extra I did behind the scenes was actually put some of this yellow wrap on my fog lights. Now, I'm not usually a fan of this kind of stuff, but I did figure, you know what, it'd really suit the vehicle and kind of its new look. With those modifications done, it's now time to move on to the next one, and that of course is more lighting, but this time it's actually for the brush guard. So I've gone ahead here and bought 2 of these spotlights for the brush guard, and they can be either a white or yellow kind of fog light, and I decided I'm going to wire them up to be the yellow ones because I feel like those are really good, especially when you're off-road. So I'm going to go ahead and wire it up now. For the wiring here, rather than just showing you because it's a bit, you know, boring to watch, I decided to just kind of show you what I've done instead. And there is a couple ways you can do this. You can run the wire through this little hole right here. You can just take this plate off and then run it through there into the inside. However, when I had this side fender off, I actually took an opportunity to run the wire through the side here and then in through a grommet into the cabin, and that worked really well, so I decided to do that instead. But again, you could do it either this way, or probably there's even another way besides these 2 options that I mentioned. And then what I did there was run it all the way through the front here. I could have probably run it through the back of the engine here, but I didn't want to see the wires through there, so I decided to just run it through the front here and tuck it up underneath this bar right here. Having the wire continue to run from there all the way underneath this bar to this point right here, in which I use this as a ground. I cleaned it up a little bit and then just use this as a grounding point, and that's the relay right there. And then I ran the power line to the battery right there. So again, this is just one way that I did it. You could probably do this multiple ways. Everyone has, I'm sure, a different way of doing it, but this is the way I thought was nice and clean, and you barely notice it that it's in the vehicle. So, and then now the next part is to run the wires through the bottom here, which I've already done, and these are going to be used for the lights. Before I continue any further with this process, I need to get this brush guard mounted back onto the vehicle. Now that the brush guard's reinstalled, I can put in the new lights. I am digging these new spotlights. They look fantastic, and I can't wait to see them at night because I'm sure they'll look pretty awesome. And of course, I'll show you guys a clip of them as well as the rest of the vehicle at night, just to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. Now here's what it's like just standing in front of the vehicle. They're actually quite bright, those new spotlights. It's actually kind of burning my eyelids actually, and I kind of want to get out of here right now. I'm uncomfortable. All right, there's a few things I need to finish up before I can get this thing back on the ground, so let's roll the montage.
Ooh, that was good.
With all the small things now officially done, I'm ready to take this thing off the jack stands, and I'm actually very excited because I think it's been a number of months, actually probably about 3 months, since this thing's been on jack stands, so I can't wait to get it off. So in order to do that, I'm actually going to have to reinstall the wheels, but you honestly didn't think I was going to reinstall these ones, did you? I'm actually going to install these ones here. These are the new wheels for the Pathfinder, and actually they look pretty cool. And yes, they're aluminum, but you know, they're still nice. I think they'll suit the vehicle just well. And they're only $400 for the whole set. These look so much better already. Wow. Yes, I don't have a cap right now, but I will be getting those one day. So these are actually 16-inch rims, and I believe these are 30-inch tires, but man, they're quite big. With the vehicle now on the ground, it's finally done just about, so now I'm going to have to go around and just torque some of those last bolts that I wasn't able to while it was on jack stands. With everything torqued down, it's now officially time to move this thing out from under its home and back onto where it should be, the road. You join me a few days later after that last clip of me taking the Pathfinder for a quick spin. Now that I've officially gotten it road ready, and that meaning I've actually got the alignment done. As you can see here on this piece of paper, this is the sheet that they give you when you get an alignment done, and it's all green. And surprisingly, actually, it was pretty good just going into the shop. So I'm actually quite surprised about that. But nonetheless, it's road ready now. But most importantly, right now, there's actual snow on the ground. Like, look at this. This is the best time for the Pathfinder to be out in the elements and with snow. And just look at the Pathfinder. It's so beautiful. Look at that. Now, I don't want to get too sentimental about this, but I have truly enjoyed working on this vehicle. I mean, it's been fantastic. You know, of course, like working on any older vehicle, you do encounter your small problems along the way, and this one's been no exception. But then again, I wouldn't regret it and wouldn't hesitate to do it all over if I had to. This concludes the last video in the series of the Project Pathfinder. And I just want to say thank you very much for watching. It does truly mean a lot to me, and your lovely comments that you've given me to help support me along this journey. It's been fantastic. And now I will be getting back to more of my regular stuff, which is the car reviews, which seems to be the most popular thing on my channel. So if you aren't subscribed to my channel, do that now, so that way you don't miss any of those coming up in the future. And also next year, don't worry, I will be doing some more stuff to this vehicle. So if you like that kind of stuff, stay tuned. I will be doing it again once the weather warms up. So thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye now.